Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Scary Stories by the Campfire. We are your counselors tonight, Jeremy.
And Jason.
And tonight we are looking at Psycho 3, released in 1986. And I have to say, I feel like I've already seen this movie 2 other times. I just watched it a third time.
Oh, you're just talking about Psycho in general.
1 and 2 is like exactly the same as this one. Exactly the same. There was not much difference. Crazy lady trying to convince the popo that he's crazy. Somebody else thinking he's not. Like, it's just watching the same movie again.
No, this one didn't have anyone trying to make him seem like he was crazy.
No, but she had somebody trying to convince the cops that he was crazy.
Well, yeah, she was trying to... Okay, I was just getting my Twitch up right now.
See, even PJ already agreeing with me that, yeah, they were pretty much the same.
I mean, the premise is relatively the same. I mean... Turn me up, Jeremy. Turn me up, Jeremy.
Or just talk louder, Jason.
Or I could do that too, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that sounded kind of weird on your end. But guys,
The point is,
better?
this movie is exactly the same as the second one. Let's just be real.
Not entirely the same.
Oh,
I can see. No, see the difference is in the last one, he was quote unquote fixed. He was normal.
Oh.
And then the antagonist lady,
Potato.
were trying to make him crazy so that he'd get locked away again. But in this one, he was already crazy.
Potato.
Just like in the first one. So if anything, this is more like a rehashing of the first movie.
So you agreed that I've already seen this movie? Yes.
Well, we did watch it for the first time.
I mean, I basically watched it the first 2 times. Potato.
But there's more to it now. Now, whether or not that's all gonna follow up into the fourth movie, because like I said in the past episodes, I believe that the fourth movie kind of does its own thing, you know. So we'll just have...
This is a movie that didn't need a sequel. It just didn't. Jason.
Oh, it's happening again. Can't believe it's not fixed yet. It's happening.
I mean, I hear you fine.
Again. Well, yeah, you hear me fine now, but as soon as this little thing blinks again, you blink. You blink at me. I'll smack you.
Look.
All right, so long story short, according to Jeremy, this is the same movie as the last two, and that's the end. Except this one's got way more boobies in it. Yes, it does. And this one was actually this one was directed by Anthony Perkins. He didn't do the second one.
No, this was the first movie he ever directed.
And I'm gonna tell ya, I like it. Yes, I do. Actually, this is come to find out. This is kind of like my favorite series so far.
Really, Vacancy wasn't your favorite?
Like, oh come on, seriously, Jeremy? Vacancy. I love the first one. Hate the second one. I can't even remember the second one. Do you remember the second one?
Yeah.
What happened in the second one?
It was pretty bad.
Is that all you got for me? It's just pretty bad. That's all you got? Just pretty bad? Here you go, Jeremy. I'm gonna let you know it was super awful that you can't even remember it. Okay, none of the exciting actors were in it. We had a bunch of nobodies, I guess. It. What about it?
It was it your favorite?
What about it? No, Jeremy.
Pennywise.
First of all, Jeremy, the miniseries that we did in what, 2 parts?
Hiya, Georgie.
Was fun, but it did have a letdown ending. And
how can him flying down the street on his bike with the wife sitting on the handlebars be a letdown ending?
Was that the wife, or was that that other guy? Because they were having a whole montage of bike action too.
No, at the very end of it was when he got his wife out of the den and she wouldn't wake up, and he took her on the bike and they went down that really long hill and almost got ran over about 3 times.
No, I mean for the
Pet
overall,
Cemetery.
Pennywise is. No, didn't really like the second one too much. No, see, here's the thing, Jeremy. Here's the thing about those movies, okay? You have Vacancy 2, or Vacancy, and then you go into the second one. What's the second one? It's a prequel. And does it have any characters that are involved in the first movie? No. Get that out of here. Now, Pennywise. It's done in 2 parts. Both movies done in 2 parts. You had a miniseries and then you had the movies. And yes, do consider it one collaborative, because it's one giant story. So I don't technically look at It 2 or It Chapter 2 or whatever you want to call it as a sequel. I just consider it a continuation of the movie, because it's one and they get It Book 2. It's all one story. So now, what was the last one you just did?
Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery. Yeah. So you have Pet Cemetery, and then you have Pet Cemetery 2, which was a non-existent book. So it was a sequel to the movie, but it had none of the characters to translate over. So you're just pretty much getting a different movie. And you know what? It wasn't interesting. It wasn't fun. I mean, it was weird. Sure, that was about the only fun factor.
Okay, so let's look at that with this same as this. So you have a book. The first movie's based off a book, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. The second one, right? Isn't that based off a book too? Right?
No, it's not based off a book.
Oh, okay. So you have a sequel. So you have a sequel to a book that doesn't exist, and it's just not interesting. And then you created a third one that's just not interesting.
No. But it is a continuation.
So was Pet Cemetery.
Jeremy, what happened to Lewis in Pet Cemetery that transcends over to Pet Cemetery 2? Just died? He died?
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't get a wife. You don't get a at least with like The Shining and Doctor Sleep, you get a continuation of Danny's story. You see him as a kid in the first movie, you see him as an adult in the second movie, and how that past movie transcends and makes him who he is by the second movie. You don't get any of that from Pet Cemetery to Pet Cemetery 2. And this movie, you get to see Norman Bates move from movie to movie to movie. You get to see him be psycho.
So real quick, Jason. What was that line that you said about this being the most what? Your favorite. This was your favorite set of movies so far. Your favorite.
Yes, one of my favorites. Yeah.
Your favorite. No, you didn't say one. You said this is your favorite so far. The most interesting.
I'm pretty sure I said one of my favorites, but okay.
The most interesting. Evil Dead.
Yeah, on a psychological level.
No. You didn't say that at first. Evil Dead.
No, I didn't have
So you're saying Evil Dead is not interesting. Evil Dead 2 isn't interesting.
It's one of my favorite series. Yes. But once again, once you get past the Ash Williams trilogy, you're going into a whole new set.
That's not. That's
So
not,
you're starting.
and then even more. Phantasm.
Okay, Phantasm is not
Just
my favorite series.
what?
That movie, that series of movies got worse as they went. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, big giant flying giant. You're used to like what do they call those little ear things? Are they called those little golf ball looking things, or those?
I think it was bigger than a golf ball.
The Sentinels. Aren't they called like Sentinels or
Yeah.
something like that? Yeah, you used to seeing those things, and all of a sudden he's on a planet, and they're all like planet size, like Yeah, no, Jeremy, that one jumped the shark. Okay.
Scream.
Scream. Jeremy, you want to talk about a repetitive set of movies? You sit here and go, movies repetitive. Jeremy, Scream is literally the most repetitive set of movies. It's the same thing. It's fun, I grant you, and I really, really like it. But what are we getting out of it?
The Exorcist.
Got a remake. Those movies were awful, Jeremy.
The Exorcist. All of them.
The first one was really, really good. The second one was just whatever. Then you had was it? No, did we have a third? Yes, we had a third one, Legion. Well, it's based off the book Legion, which is technically like the true sequel. That one was really cool, even though it was more detective PI stuff instead of like actual supernatural stuff at the time.
Jeepers Creepers.
It's really Jeremy, really.
Resident Evil.
Really, Jeremy? We're really going down this rabbit hole. This Resident Evil fun got worse, Jeremy.
Saw.
Worse.
The soap opera of a story.
You cannot tell me that there are inner movies in here you're just like, this is a really bad Saw movie. Okay, they may have good movies in the beginning, good movies at the end, especially like Saw, X, but yeah, there's a couple in there sprinkled in there that's just like, Billy should have just stayed on the shelf.
The Rob Zombie trilogy of the Fireflies.
Okay, get that out of here. I hate those movies. I thought the first one was interesting as a concept, and if they had left it at that, if it was just the one movie, it would have been an okay movie. I would have been like, I don't mind it as much. It had some like really weird moments in it, but the other two just ruined me. I'm sorry, they do. So we're just gonna go down this rabbit hole of just movies that we've watched or the series that we've watched and compare them to Psycho series here.
I just had to. You were like, that's the only interesting series we've watched.
Not once did I ever say this is the only interesting.
No, this is my favorite series so far.
I said it was one of my favorite series because I like.
It's so interesting.
I love the story arc that's happening at this time.
There is no story arc. It's the same thing.
Jeremy, did you miss the whole second movie where he was trying to live a normal life? Did you just miss that? You actually have a character who is portrayed as a villain.
You're right. It went like this. Yeah, Psycho 1. This movie's great. Psycho 2. Mayday, mayday. We're going down, but we can make it. Psycho 3. We're going down with the ship.
I'm telling you. No, I don't know. I don't know how the next couple movies are gonna play out. Okay.
There's only one.
No. Well, one more with Anthony Perkins. Yes. Then they have Then they got that TV movie Bates Motel, which was supposed to transpire into some sort of um
Isn't that a TV show?
not the new one. It was supposed to do kind of like a Tales from the Crypt type of TV show, but it was based in like the Bates Motel. Um, but it didn't get picked up, as we all can guess. And then Jeremy, then we have Psycho the remake, which is considered one of the worst remakes ever made.
Well, I
So
mean,
we got that one to look forward to.
sure.
But like I said, as of like these three movies, I like this series. Okay, I already knew Psycho. Okay, you know the story of Psycho and but I never even knew for a good long while that there was even a Psycho 2 or a Psycho 3, and apparently a Psycho 4.
That's because they weren't needed.
No, not necessarily.
Unnecessary sequels.
Um, yeah, we get quite a bit of those in the horror scene, Jeremy.
Oh no, we do absolutely, hands down. Not saying we don't, but this is definitely one of them.
I mean, look at Texas Chainsaw.
Hey, you leave
Look
Matthew
at
McConaughey out of this.
We didn't need that one, Jeremy.
Look, Jason. Just because he did that movie doesn't mean anything.
We could have stopped at 2. Better yet, we could have just stopped at 1.
Because you know what? I'm sure he left his Lincoln outside that house.
It's Lincoln.
Because he does all the Lincoln commercials.
I guess. I mean, sure.
You never seen him?
No, not really. I don't watch a whole lot of TV anymore. I usually stream stuff.
Anyways. So, continuing on what we were talking about.
Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I liked how this was pretty much a direct continuation of the second movie, and he's got that Emma Spool up in his. He must have had her up there for a little while because she was all, corpsed out.
She was, very much so. She looked like something he, taxidermied.
Yes. But yes, like we said, this one was the first one directed by Anthony Perkins. Did you see anything on like why he directed it? Was it because he wanted to, or was it because something came up and he just kind of jumped at the opportunity to do that? I'm not entirely sure. I didn't look at anything like that, but
I didn't see anything.
I mean, our crazy cast of characters incorporates our usual fan favorite Norman Bates, a suicidal nun, a rapist rocker, and actually, I think he was the more psycho of the characters.
He was. There was an interview with Anthony Perkins saying, and he admitted not to being up to the task of directing the film, feeling his technical knowledge to be too limited.
Well, I mean, at least he admitted to it, but I don't think it was like a. I mean, for a first time director, I don't think it was bad.
But everybody did say they enjoyed working with him.
He does seem like he would be like a nice guy to hang out with.
And this movie takes place 1 month after the events of Psycho 2.
Oh, she decayed fast. I mean, I guess that is I guess someone can decay that fast. But yeah, so he's got his motel running again, and apparently they got some sort of big party going on. I don't know where all them college people came from.
Yeah.
That was like the weird part because I think there was a part or two that I had missed because I was grabbing dinner or doing something. But I come back and there's just like a motel full of like college kids or whatever, and they're just drinking and sexing it up, and um, well, like I said, there's a good bit of boobies in this one, which is I wouldn't say that's like a real standout thing because the first one had, I don't want to say like full on nudity or anything like that, but it did have like a lot of shots of um Marion Crane when they're doing the stabbing scene in the shower. She's kind of turned sideways, she's got herself kind of covered up, but it's still a very provocative thing for that time, I would think. So this just kind of has more of a, I want to say like more of a natural feel for the time.
Yeah, I can
When
agree
did
with
this movie
that.
come out?
86.
86. Yeah, I mean, nudity on screen at the especially in R-rated films isn't like uncommon. It's not like you're surprised or anything. Especially in like horror movies and slasher films, that's kind of a big staple is the blood, the gore, and the sex in it. And I mean, we get a lot of that in Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we
And
do.
yeah, well, that's kind of the main thing. See, in Friday the 13th, sex is the driving point. It's what led to Jason's quote unquote watery demise, and it's what pushes the film. You know.
Hey, Jason,
Uh, yes.
do you want to smoke some pot and have
Oh,
premarital sex?
well, I don't think it's. I think most of the drug use came afterwards.
I know, but
They
that one scene is just so much funny.
Yes, it is. It is the staple of Jason X. Um, but this one, I mean, sex isn't the driving point, but with Norman being the character that he is, he's been umbrellaed. He's been sheltered from the world by his mom. Um, they don't explicitly say it in this one, and I know in part four we're supposed to dive into his childhood, so we're going to get to see uh, what exactly transpired. It's kind of like it's kind of like Freddy Krueger until they actually said that he was like a child molester. It's kind of hinted at.
Yeah.
Child murderer, yes. Child molester, going to say right away. So in this one, it's kind of like, you know, Mama kept him real close. Uh, Probably some sort of incestuous relationship, whether it's because he didn't know better or she did or whatnot. But it's never really explicitly implied in this. Um, but it does have a driving point because he doesn't know how to properly channel those feelings, especially now that his mom's dead and she's residing in his brain. Yes, Jeremy.
Nothing?
Oh, you're just leaning forward like you're getting ready to say something. Like,
No.
let me stop. Let me stop you there.
No.
No. But it's so. No, white zombie. We are done with you. Get out of here. So it took me a moment to figure out what you were doing. I was like, what did I seen that before? But him not having that appropriate um, uh, education, as you want to call it, or whatever. He's got the peeping tom, where he's looking into the motel room through
Yeah.
the hole and whatnot, and of course, he's got the split personality, so it's like whenever he starts feeling an attraction to the female, um, then the mother persona kicks in and pretty much gets rid of her. And in the second movie, like I said, we get a Norman who's trying to be better. He's been in the hospital for 20 plus years, and he's getting out. He's better, and then you have Marion Crane's sister trying to mess with his head, get him locked back up because she just can't get over the fact that, he murdered her sister. And
Well,
in this one,
Juliet,
go ahead.
Cummins, however you pronounce it. The actress. I don't know who she played. She played Red. Sorry. She actually almost got fired.
Played Red.
Yeah.
Who's Red?
Oh. That's all she's credited as. Red.
Oh.
Oh, it's the one where Dwayne throws Red out of the hotel room.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So that was his nightly pickup.
Yeah. She actually almost got fired.
He picked her up with the awkward like little sex thing going on. Yeah, and then he threw her out. He in this movie I think was like the actual psycho in this movie because he was horrible.
Apparently she made an unintentional joke about his homosexuality and he threatened to fire her.
About Anthony Perkins?
Yeah.
Is it? Well, I mean, I guess that's why she got axed. You can escape the phone booth scene. Yeah, actually, I did enjoy that phone booth scene. That was actually a very interesting.
This movie was also supposed to be originally filmed in black and white.
Oh. That would have made a very interesting twist. I do like in this movie that the nun, I had forgotten her name, but her initials are MC, like Marion Crane. And it was having an effect on Norman. And, I mean, she looked like Marion. And they did strike up a romantic relationship, as you would say. And I actually do like the fact that they actually did get together in a romantic way, but him being him and how he was raised and how she was a nun and whatnot, they didn't have that, how would I put it, that sexual chemistry. Because there's like a lot of movies where you got like, let's say Norman's the bad guy. In this case, you got the good female, whatever, and they hook up and they get like some sort of, hot steamy sex scene or something like that, right? This one, I do like the fact that they were awkward about it, and she was like, why don't we just lay here? We don't have to do anything. We just lay here. And he just kind of laid on top of her and hugged her, and they just laid
Unlike Dwayne.
there. I was just like, that is accurate. Huh?
I said unlike Dwayne.
Yeah, unlike Dwayne, who, does his whole scene and then proceeds to kick her out.
I found Mother.
Yeah, he went really crazy at the end. That was like one of the big things that I didn't quite understand. Was like how he just became so crazy. I mean, it's one thing when he's just kind of an egotistical person who takes advantage of women and whatnot. But right there at the end, he almost went like full boss mode. He's like shirtless, he's sweating. He had to have been on some drugs.
Probably.
I think they actually did reference something where like Norman's in the hotel room, whatever, or the motel room, and he kind of glances over at the table and there's like There's like cigarettes and other stuff on the table. So he had to been like hyped up on like something that was making him like really go crazy. But yeah, they have that scene and Norman kills him. Um it's an interesting turn of events, you know. And sadly, the final girl, well, actually, I would the love interest, the one I would guess I wouldn't really call her the final girl because she died. That was sad. Even though I just she fell down the stairs. They had that really awkward stair scene. Yeah, she did just pretty much like the private eye in the other movie. I don't know if that was like an homage to that one. I think it was. I think it was supposed to be more of like an homage since we were rehashing a lot of the same stuff from the first movie. But that little Cupid arrow to like the back of her head just killed her. I'm like, did that actually have enough penetration to kill her? I mean, it did. Clearly, she died.
Did you know in the original script, Dwayne was supposed to be the killer?
That would make sense.
And he had intentionally come to the Bates Motel because he was obsessed with Norman. But Universal rejected the idea, arguing that Bates had to be the killer.
See, that's the thing with me and Raven this entire series so far is we think Norman, as Norman, is genuinely a good person. It's just the mother persona that keeps him bogged down in his evilness. And every time we watch these movies, you know, we've seen the first one, he gets locked away. He gets released in the second one, and we just want to see him come up, you know? I just want to see him maybe like get his happy ending, you know. But then the powers to be with the sister and the daughter just messing with his head pretty much flips him back into his old ways, reawakens that persona if that persona had ever gone away to begin with. And now we're both sitting there like, okay, so he doesn't, everyone around him's dead. Um, we've gone back to the beginning of Cycle 1. And now what do we do? Okay, so now we move to the movie. Still has that persona. And, you know, he finds happiness. And he's actually battling with his mom at this point. And yeah, we actually do get to see him like stab the stuffed corpse of Ellen Spool, which we find out it's not his mom. It's his aunt, who apparently was jealous of Norma's life and husband, and apparently killed the husband and took the kid, took Norman, raised Norman for a little bit or something like that, before he was handed back over to Norma. And it's just it's a messed up life he's living. But by the end of it, everyone's dead again except for the reporter lady, and he's getting towed away in the police car.
And he still has Mother's hand.
Yeah, the sheriff's like, you're gonna, what did he say? You're gonna get
Put away
away
forever this time.
You're gonna get locked away for good this time. And he's like, well, at least now I'm free, or truly free, or something like that. And it was almost like, oh, great. So now he finally has gotten rid of the mother persona for good, hopefully. But now he has to spend the rest of his life. I mean, you can always think maybe 20 more years of psychiatric help and maybe he'll be better, but you know, now I think this is like the true ending, and it's nice to see this
ending.
Well, it's nice to see it as like a semi tragedy because it's not full
Here
on
we go.
tragedy. You know,
Here, I'll show y'all.
oh. Oh yes, that's
Fool
right.
at me. Look what you did to yourself. Why, Norman, why? Good God, son. You'll never get out again. They're gonna have you locked up forever.
But I'll be free. I'll finally be free.
Freaking weirdo.
You, what's that? You sort of want to feel bad for him until he does that.
I don't want to feel bad for him. He knew what he was doing was wrong.
I think he's one of, when you think of like slasher killers, you're usually thinking of like who, Jeremy? You're thinking of like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Charles Lee Ray.
Really? His name's Chucky.
Yeah.
Jason.
Chucky.
Chucky.
Chucky for sure. His real name was Charles Lee Ray.
No. I think of Stu. Stu Mocker.
Yeah,
And
Ghostface.
Billy
Yeah.
Loomis.
Billy Loomis, yeah. But, but I don't think a lot of people actually think of Psycho and where a lot of...
Because
those
we all
slasher
go a
movies
little
come
mad
from.
sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, we...
To be
yeah.
quoted
Mhm.
from Billy Loomis.
Yeah. Yeah, see? And see, there, Mary's boyfriend in the first movie, and after the sister marries him, her last name is Loomis.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot that. Now I know. Did they say if Billy was named after Loomis in this movie, or was it Loomis from Halloween?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure they referenced something. I mean, it could have been just both of them, Actually, it could have been a whole chain reaction. Like Loomis was named after these characters, and Billy was named after Loomis from Halloween. So it's just an interesting thing, and I do think that if we didn't have the original Psycho, we wouldn't have the horror movies of today. I do think this is a very fundamental film. And the first movie's not extremely graphic. I know they, excuse me. I know they get extremely graphic as the movies have progressed over the years. Like the second and the third one here really kind of turned up the sleaziness of
Boobies!
yeah, had quite a bit of that. But I mean, overall, the first one is still going to be fundamentally one of the best psychological thrillers out there. And I mean, really, how many people got stabbed to death? Like 2.
I know when we play the game, it's going to be hard for me to tell you who's killed and not, because there wasn't that many deaths.
Oh, and this one, there's none. There's the Dwayne. There's the Red. There was the girl on the potty.
Oh, well, that's it.
You have that weirdo sheriff guy. Not the sheriff, but his like little deputy.
But just wait till we get to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the new one, Jason. Then I've got all the people on the bus.
Oh God. You want to talk about a movie franchise that went downhill? I don't care what you say about the other movies. The first movie it's a very well crafted.
Low budget movie.
It's a low budget movie, but
Wait,
it
are we talking about
feels
Psycho?
dirty.
Are you
No, I
talking
was
about
talking about
Texas? Yeah.
Texas? Yeah.
No, absolutely. I actually watched that the other day. And it's very low budget, dirty, and it sets off the tone of the movie at the very beginning with the flashbulb.
I do like how perception is everything. I remember growing up. We may have talked about this years ago. Probably at the beginning when we started doing this whole podcast thing. Growing up, I was, and I still pretty am, especially with real life scenarios, squeamish around blood and stuff, right? But as time's moved on, I've been able to watch movies that have a little bit more grit to them, a little bit more gore to them, a little bit more blood to them, and stuff like that. I mean, growing up, you hear like Saw, Texas Chainsaw, all those movies are like Hostel. They're like, ew, they're just torture movies. It is, all people care about is the death and the dismemberment and the just, it's so gross, so ultra violent. And I actually, sat down and watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre and realized, I was like, this isn't really that gory, if at all. I mean, it is very off-putting. The mentality of the whole thing is very upsetting, per se, but there's blood in it, sure, but I mean, you're not seeing people get dismembered or anything like that. And when I saw the first Saw movie, it was kind of the same thing. It's like, there's not a whole lot. I mean, yes, there's like the torture aspect of it, sure, but nothing's done in explicit showing.
I will come back for you.
What? Yeah, I mean,
that's how James Gordon was at the end of the movie. After he cuts he's like,
Peace.
I'm James Gordon. I'm a doctor. And then at the end, he's like, I will come back for you. I will. You have to die. And he just starts crawling his way.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, there's an element to that, but it's not explicit. You're not like watching him rip through the foot itself. You see him cut a little bit of the skin, pans back, he's cutting the leg, and then his leg's off, So you don't get any of the explicitness. And I guess over time I've become, I guess the word would be desensitized to this kind of stuff. Because I sat down and watched Hostel a couple of years back for the first time, and I sat down and went, oh, this is it? This is like how violent it is? I mean, it's pretty violent, but not as bad as everyone was making it out to be. I mean, the whole first portion of the movie is idiot Americans and a bunch of boobs. There is torture in this torture movie, right? Oh, here we are. Oh, Achilles tendon scene, and okay, that's about it, I guess.
I mean, we saw more gore and blood in like Evil Dead than we see in these other movies.
And I think to a certain extent, because like the first one had a lot of blood in it. But it wasn't like explicit blood. You know what I'm saying? It's not like someone got stabbed in the face, his blood's just spewing all over.
No, that was a remake.
Like that. Yeah, that was the remake.
The remake was just pure gore.
But they did it like in an over the top kind of way. Like no human body has that much blood spewing out of it. Okay, that's kind of the staple of the series, is that it's just over the top, almost comical. Now, mind you, the remake and Evil Dead Rise didn't have like a comedy element to it.
Rain and blood.
Yeah, but it had a lot of blood and gore to it, which is, like I said, the staple of it. Um, yeah, Psycho didn't have like that whole blood gore. It was more of like a mental level of stuff. So, um, yeah.
Well,
I
let's see what everyone else thought of Psycho 3.
Psycho 3.
Anthony Perkins' directorial debut. On a scale of... Huh?
I was gonna say, did he direct anything else after this, or was this like the only movie that he ever directed?
Let me find out real quick.
Because I'm sure it says on IMDb, you just turn on his.
Oh, no, I can look. Hold on.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10.
He directed a movie called Lucky Stuff in 1988, and that's it.
Maybe I'll check it out. Let me hit the refresh button on my Twitch here.
But on a scale of 1 to 10 with 17,000 votes of IMDb, what do y'all think people voted on Psycho 3?
I'm going to go with an even 5.
And Jason.
What's that?
Jason's going with a 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing this in Jeopardy ways too, along with Price is Right rules. You gotta answer it in the form of a question.
What is... Okay, hold on. What is the... There we go.
Ravenfire, do you have an answer for us? She don't got no answer for us, so I guess it's only Jason and PJ playing. PJ, you're red. You got thrown out of a hotel room.
Naked.
I know, it reminded me of that scene in My Bloody Valentine. The remake.
Was she wearing pants in this one?
That was the only... No, she wasn't wearing pants. Unlike My Bloody Valentine when she was completely naked.
I was just about to say, she was wearing at least underwear in this
Yes.
one. And then she put her clothes on.
Outside the hotel room.
Outside, because he threw them at her. Yeah, because I remember the My Bloody Valentine remake, you had that long scene of her just being...
Chased around naked.
Yeah, she was like completely butt naked. It was just like full front and back. You know, it was ridiculous.
And she got a pickaxe through her chest.
Yeah. So PJ is red, so we get the phone booth scene, which, like I said, I really liked. It was very reminiscent of the shower scene from the original movie. I think it was even raining at that time, so when he busted in through the glass and was like doing the stabbing, it was raining at the same time. So I thought that was really cool.
Now, for the Batesometer.
Wait, well, okay, so I guess that means I won. What was it?
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what if we're scaling down at this point.
Yes. But we are on to the Batesometer.
Okay. Oh.
On a scale of 0 to 100, what do y'all think critics gave Norman Bates' Psycho 3? PJ, what is your vote? Yes. 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 I want a toasted cheese sandwich.
Yeah, that's what he's talked about.
PJ's, what is 48?
48 is the number that comes after 47, but before 49.
Kind of random tangent or random off topic thing. I saw this SNL skit, Jason, where they were making fun
48.
of Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
know,
they do that all the time on SNL.
I know they do, but this one was funny because they were like, what the question was is to answer in the form of the question. The answer is this G-shaped letter that comes between F and H. And Jim Carrey hits the button and he's impersonating Matthew McConaughey.
Wow.
PJ, you're Dwayne.
Oh. Oh my god. Oh.
It was
Okay.
a 59%.
What did he say? He said, "Hey, be careful with the guitar," and then Norman beats him with it. That was actually a pretty funny scene. I was surprised he went out kind of the way he did, being the character that he was. But it was just really funny. He's like, "Hey man, be careful," because Norman had already like beat him up and pushed the bed against him, like against the wall. He like
Yeah.
fell in between the bed or whatever, and then kind of pushed the bed and got him stuck there or whatever. And he's like, "Hey man, careful with the guitar," and he just walked up and whacked him in the head with it. Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, the psychometer or the popcornometer. What do y'all think the people on a scale of 1 to 100 thought of Psycho 3?
Yes, PJ, I got it. I got it because I'm shooting in the middle of the line.
When all else fails,
Too far inside, don't you? Yeah.
go down
All
the
else,
middle.
yeah. If you're not sure if the movie was good or bad, just go to the middle. You know, don't go low, don't go high.
PJ, what is 60? Jason and PJ. PJ, you fell down the stairs like the doctor.
Hit the arrow. You're the nun.
Jason, you're the other person I didn't mention. I don't know. I don't remember who the other death was. Oh, you're the toilet girl.
That's the toilet girl.
You're the toilet girl.
Did you remember there was one other death?
No.
Bonus points for your PJ if you can remember who it was.
Let's see.
Anyone?
Was it Lou?
No. When the nun was attempting to jump out the window, and she knocked that one sister down.
Oh yeah, Jason, I'm changing who you are. You're no longer toilet girl. You're the nun that fell and hit a bell.
Yeah, I guess you could say she got her bell rung. Oh, this is horrible.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. We will see y'all next week as we come back to the Bates Motel with a prequel that's probably going to be exactly like the other one. So,
No, this has actually got young Norman, played by the kid from E.T.
what I mean is we're probably going to watch the same movie again, basically.
That with young Norman.
Yeah.
E.T.
Phone. E.T. Phone.
Yeah,
Home.
Someone's gonna have to phone home. But it is also gonna be the last Psycho movie that we're gonna get with Anthony Perkins. So don't look a gift horse in the mouth, because no matter what you say about the rest of the cast, Anthony Perkins delivers on every level. I don't care. The first movie, he's phenomenal. The second movie, he's phenomenal. Third movie, he's phenomenal. He's just phenomenal in all these movies.
He's the only positive to come out of all three.
Well, I mean, that could say a lot.
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying you were right. He is the only good thing to come out of all three of them.
So, I mean, I think the stories in all of them are okay. The story in the first one, of course, second one and third one, they all work together pretty well. So like I said, and I'll stand by it, Jeremy, no matter how much garbage you try to throw my way, because I'll tell you what, Jeremy, it's not garbage day.
No, that's coming up soon.
It's this is definitely one of my favorite movie series so far.
Because guess what?
Until I get to the remake Psycho, and then I go, this awful. This does not exist in the realm of Perkins.
Because guess what? We've got here soon. The holidays are coming, Jason. They're right around the corner. And with Christmas comes Garbage Day.
Krampus.
Well,
hey, wait. So what is let's see. We got Psycho 4, possibly Bates Motel. We're not promising Bates Motel. It depends on if we can find it or not. But we know we got the so we have at least 2 more movies.
what's the other one?
The remake.
Oh, the remake, yeah.
So we have at least 2. If we don't get to Bates Motel, that's fine. It's taking us forever to get through Psycho anyway. But wait, you got the next series or single, whatever?
Yep. We're gonna do my single first, and I've already decided on what it is.
All right. I just couldn't remember because we've been doing this for so long. I can't remember what my single was.
Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah. I want to watch that one again. It was a good one.
Well,
all right. Let's get.
Here we go with the trailer for Psycho 3. 4.
4 series 4.
In 1960, Alfred Hitchcock created a film that is perhaps the most terrifying thriller of all time. Psycho. Now, come answers to the questions audiences have been asking for over 30 years. Psycho 4. The beginning.
This is Fran Ambrose on KTK, Talk of the Town.
I called because the focus of your show tonight is what makes boys kill their mothers.
Are you saying you killed your mother?
I killed some other women, too.
You want to tell us about your mother, how she drove you to become what you became?
She'd be sweet one moment, and then she'd suddenly turn mean. Don't you have any respect for the dead?
How did it all start?
What are you doing here?
We're gonna wake up your mother. Kill her.
I can't, no.
Then I'll do it for you.
What makes Norman Bates kill?
Look at yourself, boy. Ha! Girl. Yes, girl. Mama's little girl.
How'd you kill your mother?
Slowly.
Will this be the end of Norman Bates?
Oh, I've killed before. And now I'm gonna have to do it again.
Or is it only the beginning? Psycho 4, The Beginning. Anthony Perkins stars, with Olivia Hussey, C.C.H. Pounder, and Henry Thomas as young Norman Bates. Psycho 4, The Beginning.